कि khubor ka Batesi TV. Lawan Rashapi taka Frank Motors. Booking open for the new Nexon. Visit Frank Motors or call 7045207973.
MIT University of Meghalaya. Our admissions are now open for the academic year 2024-25. Explore our best courses, experience global collaborations. Apply today.
Sir, to participate in the motion brought by the Honourable Member from Nongtih regarding small-scale sand mining and stone quarrying, sir. Sir, this impacts the livelihood of a number of people living in the villages, especially in and around Malim, Punursala, Maupunro, Nongtih and all that, sir. We understand, sir, that environment also has to be protected. But at the same time, we have to take the human factor also into consideration. If we simply put a blanket ban, thousands of families will be affected. So I'd request the government, because so the land tenure system here, the land belongs to the people. What is beneath the land also belongs to the people, sir. So yes, we have to protect the environment, not because it is our land, we can do whatever with it. Destroy the land, destroy the environment, destroy the ecology. We understand, sir. But then we have to take into consideration also livelihood of thousands of families that depend on small-scale sand mining and stone quarrying, sir, for their livelihood. So that's why, sir, I support this motion to urge upon the government to ensure that we come up, because there was a regulation to regulate. So I would urge upon the government to ensure that we strike a balance while preserving the environment, while preserving the river system also. We also ensure that our people are not affected, because these are the people, sir, I think some of them, this is their only means of livelihood. So a number of families have been affected, and that's why you brought this motion. So we appeal to the government, sir, if they can come up with some exemption, concessions, so that they ensure that people who depend on this for their livelihood are not affected. Because now, the academic session has started. Some of them have come to us because we don't have any means of livelihood. Please support us. So how much can we support? Unless people can, make their own livelihood. Yes, we can only assist to a certain extent, but we cannot completely support the, the education of the entire family, the livelihood of the entire family. So I'd request upon the Chief Minister, who is in charge also of forest and environment, so to look into this aspect and ensure that while we protect the environment, we ensure that our people also are not subjected to, this kind of, depriving of their livelihood. So with these few words, sir, I have nothing more to say, but urge upon the Chief Minister, please look into this, because people who are engaged in this are people at the bottom rung of the ladder in the means, in their terms of earning a livelihood, sir. So this is their only means of livelihood. So we should ensure, as members of this house, that we are concerned about them. But then, of course, we can also educate them that we have to protect the environment. While you earn your livelihood, don't destroy the environment, because ultimately the people themselves also will be affected if the environment is affected. Like the Honourable PhD Minister has just been saying, drying up of catchment areas, drying up of water sources. Yes, we have to look into that, but you have to strike a balance. And I'm sure with our Honourable Chief Minister looking after forest and environment, we can do this. With this few words, sir, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, I will allow Redington Lindo Tongka to participate in a discussion, but I will limit the time to 7 minutes.
Thank you, sir, for allowing me to participate on the motion raised by Sri Arden Miller Basahumot MLA about the problem faced by the local small-scale sand and stone mines in the state of Meghalaya. Sir, we know the fact that many people depend their livelihood on sand and stone quarry, and they are doing manually. Sir. We know the fact, and we have to accept the fact, that those people who are depending their livelihood on stone mining and sand mining, they are really poor. And I want to express my concern, and I feel sad for those people who have been affected by the laws that is there in the country and in the state of Meghalaya. And very short, sir, I want to request our government, if there is any possibility to regularize this traditional practice that has been done by our local people. This has been done traditionally for last many years, for the last not only 50 years, but before statehood, it has been practiced by our local people, sir. For the stone mining and sand quarry that they dig by manually, not by machine. So my humbly requests are here in the floor of the house. If the government can find place to recognize, to regularize the manual sand mining, manual stone quarry that our people, our poor people are practicing as a traditional practice. If we can regularize other things, sir, let us find ways and means to regularize the sand mining and stone mining which has been practiced by our local people, sir. Only these few words, sir, I want to put my suggestion to the government of the day. Thank you.
So with regards to this motion, I'd like to participate to stress on a few points. See, number one, we should understand that the land of the tribals in the state, under the purview of 6th schedule, we claim ownership over it. And as rightly said by Baranik just now, traditional mining has been practiced for more than 50, 60 years. And at the same time, the laws which were prevalent at that particular point of time, which allowed the people to earn their livelihood, has been affected at this juncture. See, what happens when we speak of it from the point of view of income? See, when we ban, we stop quarrying of sand and stone. See, sometimes the prices goes up. So when the prices goes up, it affects the general people at large who are dependent on buying this particular sand and stones from the people who are doing the work. So my contention here, if the government can have some laws which will entail and help the local people of our state, wherein a certain limit is allowed with particular reasons, I think the government can make sure that the people who are invested in this particular work, they are benefited, and so do the general public. So I'm going with the G20 summit which happened this year. The contention was on climate change. So we should stress on this at the same time so as to not to affect the environment and the rivers and the catchment areas at the same time. So with these few words, I will submit my submission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, for allowing me to participate in this subject. This House do discuss the problem faced by the local small-scale sand and stone miners in the state. So as sensitive of the people, sir, I feel that it is our responsibility to safeguard both the environment and also the livelihoods of the people. So the issue at hand presents a delicate balance that requires our immediate attention and concerted action. So we find that local small scale miners, sand and stone miners, play a vital role in our economy providing essential materials for construction as well as for our infrastructural development. However, their operations often come with environmental consequences that cannot be ignored. So the extraction of sand and stone can lead to the habitat destruction, water pollution, and also soil erosion, posing significant threats to our environment and the public health as well. So it is imperative that we find a way forward to ensure that the sustainability of mining activities while mitigating their environmental impact. To achieve this, I urge the government to adopt comprehensive policies that strike a balance between environmental protection and the needs of local miners. These policies should include measures to promote sustainable mining practices such as reclamation and rehabilitation. Sometimes I want to remind that since our state falls under the sixth schedule of the Indian Constitution, we should, as government, we should come up with a clear policy so as the central policy should not come into effect in our state, upholding the spirit of the infrastructure, federal structure of the country. So I want to just remind that this problem should be looked into, as many of the people which have met who live from hand to mouth. So we need the government to need some policies to ease out this problem, so that our local small miners will not be suffered. And sometimes, though the challenges we face are complex, but they are not impossible. Thank you, sir. I receive my seat.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I'm very happy for the step taken by the government from time to time to ease the problem of the sand miners and stone miners. And in fact, with the intervention of the Honorable Chief Minister, the Government of India relaxed the rules for harvesting of sand and mine for to do locally. So I impress upon the Honorable Chief Minister to use this condition, so at least the harvesting of sand and mining of stone could also be done commercially, because the step taken to apply the mining lease is very, very difficult. With the intervention of the Honorable Chief Minister, most of the districts already have their DSR. Based on that, the miners could apply for harvesting of sand. But sir, as you know, the land tenure system, who owns the river? And which part of the river I will harvest the sand? And based on that, it is very difficult for the miners to prepare their mining plan for harvesting of sand or stone. So I request the government to look into how to ease this problem, how to overcome this problem, because most of our river, they flow to Bangladesh or Assam. This sand, which is the wealth of our state, is all going to, we cannot do anything. It is the wealth we are going to Bangladesh. We only have to see, because if we harvest, it is against the rules. So I request the government to look how to simplify as much as possible, so that the small sand traders, harvesters, and the small miners could be able, because the problem is not only for them, for the livelihood, the problem for the government also, where they will get the sand to construct their old building. 27,000 crore of the budget which we have, and more than 50% of that budget is for construction. That construction will stop if we don't simplify the rules, so that we will get this material which flow to Bangladesh, flow to Assam, we could harvest it for the benefit of the state, and if the state benefit, the stakeholder, the miners, and also the sand harvester, they will benefit as whole. So with these few words, I once again request the government to look at, to simplify as much as possible the rules so that this belt, which belong to us, will not go to Bangladesh or to Assam. We will, and the people of our region will enjoy it. Therefore, thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
I am thankful to the Honourable Member, Shri Arden Basamet, Honourable MLA of Nongtih, and the other members who have participated in this motion for raising this very, very important issue of the problems faced by the local small-scale sand and stone miners in the state. Sir, for the benefit of the members, since this is a technical subject in a way that there is a lot of legal aspects to it, allow me to read some of the technical and legal aspects so that the right background can be given on what the current situation and position is and why these different rules have been brought in. Sir, in exercise of the powers conferred under Section 15 of the Mines and Mineral Development and Regulation Act 1957, Central Act number 67 of 1957, the Meghalaya Minor Minerals Concession Rules 2016 was notified by the state government. The need for notifying these rules arose on account of the judgment and order of the Honorable High Court of Meghalaya dated 30th June 2015 of WPC number 140 of 2014 titled Thankam M. Sangma versus State of Meghalaya and others, prohibiting all mining activities unless the following have been complied. Number one, consultation with the CEC, that's a Central Empowered Committee. Number two, drawing a comprehensive scheme for restoration of environment damaged on account of mining. Three, creating a fund for reclamation of environment in the interest of sustainable development and intergenerational equity, and for the purpose of rectifying the damage caused to the forest and environment. So there was a court ruling in this regard, sir. When the judgment in the aforesaid case was sought to be reviewed by certain aggrieved individuals, on the premise that for several generations the forefathers of petitioners have been carrying out quarrying of limestone and other stones on a small scale in Khasi and Nongtih Hills district of Meghalaya, and that stone quarrying has been the livelihood of their families for generations, and that the land tenure system in Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya is totally unique, where the land as well as minerals underneath belong to the landowner. The Honorable High Court of Meghalaya, however, disposed of the review petition through their judgment dated 14/10/2015, delivered by a 3-judge bench, review petition number 11/2015 in Balyasware and others versus Thankam M. Sangma, declining to modify their order, except clarifying that instead of securing clearance from the CEC, the applicants for mining lease would need to obtain clearance from the statutory agencies which is in place currently, vis-a-vis the state-level Environment Impact Assessment Authority, which has been notified under the provisions of the Environment Impact Assessment Notification 2006, as amended from time to time, which have been issued under the provisions of the Environment Protection Act 1986. In view of complete embargo placed on any form of mining of minor minerals in the state without due process of law by the Honorable High Court of Meghalaya in the aforesaid ruling, the state government, driven by the intent to open the avenues for mining for mining the minor minerals in accordance with the applicable statutes, notified the Meghalaya Minor Minerals Concession Rules 2016 in exercise of powers conferred on it under Section 15 of Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957. Because no exemption is provided under the provision of Mines and Minerals Development Regulation Act 1957 for traditional small-scale mining from the ambit of the Act, therefore the Meghalaya Minor Minerals Concession Rules 2016 also could not provide any exemption clause in respect of small-scale mining of sand, stone and limestone in the traditional manner. Thus, there being no provision for exemption for traditional mining of sand, stone, etc., either under Triple MCR 2016 or under the MMDR Act 2057, the state government could not exempt their operation without any quarry permit or lease being granted under the provisions of the aforesaid Meghalaya Minor Minerals Concession Rule 2016. The latter rules necessitate preparation of mining plan, environmental clearance, pollution clearance under Air and Water Acts respectively, clearance by district council authorities, etc. In the meanwhile, a further judgment was issued by the Honorable High Court of Meghalaya dated 21st July 2017 through a division bench in writ appeal number 38 of 2017 in Foreign Trade Chamber of Commerce, Meghalaya and others versus State of Meghalaya, along with writ appeal number 39 of 2017, Warjantia, limestone, boulders, stone exporters and miners versus State of Meghalaya. The Honorable High Court, by their aforesaid order, dismissed the prayer of the petitioners for transporting stone, boulders and limestone without the state insisting on procurement of transport challans Form H under Rule 26 of the Triple MCR 2016. Further, the notification of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, through a further amendment to Environment Impact Assessment Notification 2006, issued under the provisions of subsection 3 of Section 3 of Environment Protection Act 1986, via notification dated 15th January 2016, has made it compulsory to secure environmental clearance for mining of minor minerals, which would include sand, stone, limestone of non-industrial use, etc., in lease areas of any size. The amended EIA notification 2016 prescribes a requirement of environmental clearance in respect of mining minor minerals for mining leases or quarry permits for areas below or equal to 5 hectares also, which needs to be granted by the SEIAA. Earlier, only mining leases of areas 5 hectares and above needed environmental clearance, but after this amendment was made, even areas below 5 hectares are now required to apply for these different permits. Of further importance is the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court dated 3rd July 2019 in State of Meghalaya versus All Dimasa Students Union, Dima Hasao District Committee in Civil Appeal number 10720 of 2018. The Apex Court in the latter case has held that Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 is fully applicable in the 6 scheduled states including Meghalaya, and any form of mining in Meghalaya and any other 6 scheduled states should be in conformity with aforesaid MMDR Act 1957. Insofar as sand is concerned, which too is a minor mineral, in addition to existing environment impact assessment notifications, the provisions of MMDR Act 1957 and the MMCR 2016, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, in compliance with the order of the National Green Tribunal dated 4/9/2018, in OA number 173 of 2018, titled Sudarshan Das versus State of West Bengal, has issued Sustainable Sand Management Guidelines 2016 and Enforcement and Monitoring Guidelines for Sand Mining 2020, all of which are mandatory in their application to all states in the country. Accordingly, the Government of Meghalaya too have adopted them by notification number FOR.cc/14/2019/2019/PT/4 dated 14th of April 2022. Sand being a minor mineral within the meaning of the MMCR 2016, its mining too is subjected to regulatory control as contained in the said rules and the MMDR Act 1957. In compliance with the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court dated 12/2/2012 in IA number 12-13 of 2011, in Special Leave Petition C number 19628 of 2009, in the matter titled Deepak Kumar versus State of Haryana and others, and the orders of Honorable NGT issued in this regard, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, has issued Environmental Impact Assessment Notification wide SO 141 dated 15 January 2016, amending the EIA Notification 2006 as aforesaid, making it mandatory to obtain environmental clearance in respect of sand mining, irrespective of size of the mining lease area. Currently, to facilitate applying for sand mining, Rule 4 of MMCR 2016 has been amended by the state government via notification number MG 49/2011/PT2/72 dated 4th of July 2022. The rules as they stood prior to amendment had prohibited mining any form of minor minerals within a distance of 100 meters from any water body, which had prevented sand mining applicants from applying for quarry permit for river sand. In view of the current amendment, the applications for grant of mining lease or quarry permit for mining sands are entertainable, and applicants could be helped with grant of quarry permit for mining river sand. Therefore, in view of the extant court rulings, including those of the Honorable Supreme Court and the Honorable Meghalaya High Court, in interpretation of the Constitution of India and prevailing statutes relating to mining and environmental clearance, the existing laws on the matter which are in force in our state, perhaps no exemption could be made in favor of small-scale mining of sand, stones and any other minor mineral forms from the operation of these statutes for the purpose of securing mining lease based on prior environmental clearance. However, all steps would be taken to expedite granting mining lease or quarry permits to applicants who approach the department for the same. The departmental staff would also be instructed to assist such individuals in helping them fill the relevant forms and explain them the procedure involved for applying for such permit. Sir, this is obviously a very exhaustive and a very technical reply, but it was important to give the background of what is happening and why these different rules and laws have come in. But to make it very, very simple for everybody to be able to understand. So number one, there is no ban in mining of stones, quarry, or even sand. There is no ban. So first thing I want to make it clear, nothing has been banned. Number two, the issue of ownership of the land and the statutory provisions for applying for a permit are completely two different subjects. There is no question of arguing on the fact that the land belongs to the landowners and what is beneath the land also belongs to them. But that is not being challenged by these statutory provisions. So therefore, everything is as per the 6th schedule provisions, it is there. But as I said, the statutory provisions for applying for a mining plan and other things has to be followed, and that again has been reiterated by the Supreme Court in one of the orders that I had read out earlier. So that's the second point I wanted to make, sir. And third point which I would like to make is that all of these activities that are being done are mainly being done to ensure that there is a balance, as mentioned by most of the members. There's a balance between economic livelihood as well as the environment, so that the protection can be given to the environment also. And at the same time, a procedure is there in place so that the mining activities and livelihood can continue. So therefore, sir, I think the first point is the most important, that this narrative or this thought process or this idea that everything has been stopped now is not correct. It has not been stopped. It is just that we have asked people to follow a procedure and apply for different applications and go for the different permissions that are required. As mentioned earlier, sir, the mining plan, the environmental clearance and the pollution clearance. So therefore, anybody who applies, the process is followed and the applications are assessed and the permissions are given. So therefore, sir, there should not be any confusion that we have stopped mining or we are not allowing or we have banned anything, sir. So only the procedure has been put in place, and that also has been done because of the different notifications by Government of India and different court rulings from the High Court and Supreme Court, which I have already quoted in my reply earlier, sir. So that is very, very important to understand. I must at this point in time, sir, appreciate what the suggestions that have been given by the members, especially our member from Amlarem constituency. He has precisely hit the nail on the head, I should say. And the issues here is not about banning or mining or not allowing. The issue really is the process, the procedure. And I appreciate his concerns. And if there is anything that we need to work on and which should move forward, is how to make it easier for people to get the permit and give the training to the people on how to do it. So therefore, there is a way. It can be done, but the problem is that some of our miners are not economically that well, so therefore they have challenges in terms of being able to come to the office or be able to apply online and so on and so forth, sir. So the challenge, real challenge is that, sir. So hence the procedure and the process has been identified. It must be followed because of the court cases and the different laws that have come out by Government of India. There is no question of diluting the ownership of the land or the 6th schedule. It remains, and there is no question of banning. But now we have to only work towards ensuring that wherever our miners are facing problems in terms of applying, and even after applying, if it takes too much of time, we will need to streamline the process. So therefore, sir, let me give an assurance to this House that I will personally go into this aspect of applications, figure out how we could use technology, figure out how we could allow the applications maybe to be done at the grassroots level, maybe somewhere where the trainings can be given at the block level also, at the district level also, so that our miners can easily apply and they are able to start their mining process again, sir. So I just wanted to make this clarification that the real issue is precisely what the Honourable Member has mentioned, our Honourable Member from Amlarem, that we need to streamline the procedures. Maybe there are certain complications in it, which, as I said, I will definitely personally look into and find ways and means in which we can make it easier for them to apply, simpler to apply, and give the training for them to apply so that they are able to process it. So these are the clarifications I would like to make so that all our members are aware of this, that we are striking a balance and there's no question of taking the livelihood away from the people. I myself am very, very concerned about these issues, and therefore we'll definitely work towards streamlining things. But these are statutory provisions. These are provisions by the Supreme Court, provisions by the by the Government of India, which are provisions which we need to follow, and we can't bypass those provisions, sir. But as I said, we will make efforts to make the process simpler, sir. So with these clarification, I hope I'll be able to satisfy the different concerns of the different members, and with that, I'd like to resume my seat. Thank you, sir. Citizen first is our motto. We believe that our citizens need to be connected with government for faster and efficient service delivery. I am happy to announce that we are coming up with a dedicated CM helpline call center